Have you ever felt like you're being told that everything about being a man is wrong? That your natural ambition is a problem, your strength is a threat, or your desire to be a provider is somehow outdated? What if this isn't just a coincidence? We often hear about toxic masculinity. But what if the real story is the slow creation of a generation of weaker, more compliant men? This isn't about pointing fingers. It's about taking a hard look at the cultural forces that might be chipping away at male strength and asking a critical question: who actually benefits from this? First, let's be clear about what we mean by weak. This isn't just about physical strength. It's not about how much you can bench press. It's about something deeper: a lack of moral courage, a shortage of resilience, and the absence of a driving purpose. It's about becoming passive, compliant, and easily influenced. A lot of this conversation circles back to the term toxic masculinity. In academic and psychological circles, the term was originally meant to criticize specific harmful behaviors like misogyny and violent domination, not masculinity itself. Things like devotion to work, providing for a family, or mastering a skill were never part of that definition. But in the popular conversation, that nuance is often completely lost. The phrase has been used as a blunt instrument to attack a whole range of male behaviors. As a result, many men feel like their very identity is under fire. Traditional virtues like self-reliance, stoicism, and quiet competence are sometimes twisted to look like emotional neglect or aggression. This creates a minefield of confusion. Men are told to be strong, but not dominant; vulnerable, but not weak; leaders, but not authoritarian. It's an exhausting set of mixed messages that can lead a man to simply check out, to stop trying and become a passenger in his own life. This retreat is arguably encouraged by how men are often portrayed in the media. Some analyses of Australian media have noted that common male archetypes like the hero and the provider can reinforce rigid stereotypes. At the same time, many critics have pointed out a trend where once strong male heroes are now often written as jokes, sidekicks, or broken men who need to be corrected by others, sending a clear message that traditional competence is no longer a valued trait. Some cultural commentators suggest that as a result, many young men feel disconnected from the role models they see in Western media and are turning to international media like anime or video games to find figures who embody unapologetic strength and ambition. If these forces are making men weaker, what's at stake? Why should we care? One popular aphorism, which has become widespread in recent years, offers a framework for thinking about this. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. This saying, popularized by the author G. Michael Hopf in his novel Those Who Remain, describes a cyclical theory of history that thinkers have contemplated for ages. The idea goes like this: a generation that endures hardship, war, famine, economic depression, is forced to become resilient, resourceful, and strong. These strong men and women then use that strength to build a stable and prosperous society. They create good times, but the next generation born into comfort and security can become complacent. They don't develop the same virtues as their parents because they never have to. They become weak, not necessarily in body, but in spirit and resolve. So what's the solution? If society, intentionally or not, is pushing men toward weakness, how do you push back? The answer isn't to retreat into a caricature of old-fashioned, aggressive masculinity. That's a dead end. Some argue the traditional strongman ideal can be harmful when it's based on dominance and control. The real path forward is to reclaim and redefine strength for the modern world. This means cultivating a mature, positive masculinity built on a foundation of virtue. True strength isn't about dominating others, it's about mastering yourself. It's the discipline to do what is difficult. It's the moral courage to stand for what's right, even when it's unpopular. It's the resilience to face failure and get back up. It's taking absolute responsibility for your life, your family, and your community. This kind of strength isn't given to you. It's forged. And it's forged in the fire of voluntary hardship. You have to actively seek out challenges. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Turn off the screens that promise endless distraction and start building something real. Create more than you consume. This is the path forward. It's about choosing strength when everything around you encourages weakness. It's about understanding that the discomfort you feel is a signal, a call to adventure. The hero's journey is not a story about avoiding difficulty, but about seeking it out, confronting the dragon, and returning with a treasure for society. Weakness might be the starting point, but only if you choose to answer that call. Ultimately, whether society wants you to be weak isn't the most important question. The most important question is what you want to be. The messages from the culture around you are just that. Messages. They are suggestions, not commands. You have the power to think for yourself, to question what you're told, and to reject the narratives that don't serve you. The world doesn't need more passive bystanders or compliant consumers. It needs more strong, honorable, and virtuous men. It needs men who can build, protect, and create. The only real question is, will you choose to become one? Do you see these patterns playing out in the world? Have you felt these pressures in your own life? Share your perspective and experiences in the comments below. Let's have a real, honest conversation about this.